Hello guys, today I will give a quick overview on how to install Arch Linux. Sure, as all of you may know, it's a difficult and long process and I'm here to help you through it. As I see generally in the overall Linux community, that most people just make these 2-hour, 4-hour long videos, but it really shouldn't be taking that long. Yeah, sure, you could use an installation script, but then you really don't learn anything. The point of Arch Linux is learning. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna show you how to make Arch Linux and where to start. So first of all, we are incorporating the Arch Linux ISO, which you can download on the official website. I'm gonna incorporate it into the VM. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I have it downloaded, it's in my downloads folder. Then I'm gonna go to memory. I want to have a big amount of memory. Of course, these changes are all up to you on how much memory you want to use for the VM. I want to have 4 cores. For me, again, I have 8 cores. For you, it might be less, so I can go less. And I'm gonna give it a good chunk of memory. I'm just gonna give it 80 gigabytes of storage. Give it a name. I'm gonna name my Arch Linux dash tutorial for this purpose. Finish it up, boot into the VM. So let's start. Of course, we would just wait through the whole boot session. Of course, currently the ISO is copying itself to RAM, to cache, and from there we install the system. As you can see, we are having a bash prompt. Most people probably don't know where to begin. It's kind of easy. First, we do an ls blk to ensure that all our disks are here. As you can see, we have a loop device worth 702 megabytes. That loop device is where we are on right now. I'm sorry, no, we have SR0 ROM. That's where we are. This disk is loaded into the ROM, into the read-only memory. And from there, we will start making our installation. So, we start up CF disk. This is probably the most easiest way to install Arch. Or you could choose fdisk. For this video, I'm gonna use CF disk. I want to go ahead and make a DOS system. You could of course choose for a GPT system, but for my purpose I'm using a DOS system. First we will start making the root partition. I will give it 76 gigabytes. Then I make it primary. Then I write to it. Also ensure that the partition type is Linux, so option 83. You can do this by clicking on type and select from this list. Then we're gonna make it another partition. This partition is 4 gigabytes in its size. We make this primary and we will set the type to Linux swap. Then we write it, type yes. Of course ensure that this one is written. Now we have these 2 partitions and we press Q on our keyboard to exit out of the fdisk. I clear out, then I do an ls blk, sorry, misspelled it. And as you can see, we have 2 new partitions. We have a root partition on VDA1 and we have a swap partition on VDA2. But to make use of these partitions, we have to ensure to make a file system. For VDA1, I will make it an exit4 file system, and we do this by typing the following command: mkfs dot exit4. Of course, it's all up to you. You can even make FAT system or whatever you might want to use. For this video, we're gonna make an exit4 root partition. We'll select the disk by typing /dev /VDA1. Of course, for you, it's probably SDA, since you're not on this system or not using QEMU, or you are using QEMU, or you're on a dedicated PC, Most likely it is STA. And you make a partition. As you can see, we wrote an amount of blocks, we wrote it. Now we're gonna make the swap. So we type mk swap /dev/vda2 because vda2 is our 4 GB partition. So we will write this as a swap. Then we need to turn on the swap by typing swap on /dev/vda2. Now we do an LSB OK, and as you can see, vda2 has a swap label. Now we will mount the file system to root. This was our first partition. Mounted to /mnt. This is what I recommend you doing. You could always mount it to another point, but this is the most Linux and appropriate way to mount a partition. Maybe do another LSB OK. We want to ensure that it's mounted properly, and as you can see, VDA1 is mounted to /mnt. So now we will packstrap the kernel. We type packstrap -k /mnt, the mount point where the root file system will be. Then we're gonna get base Linux -firmware and Linux-headers and network manager. Network manager is to ensure that your internet is working. As you see, if you boot into your Linux file system or your Linux, usually the network is not properly functional and it can lead to some issues. And that's why I recommend you getting network manager from the start. And as text editors, I will prefer Vim. Of course, you could use Nano if you prefer that, but this is just it's just what I would like to use. So after we set up the packages we want to have for the system, press enter. And then the program will go ahead. See, we have installed all the packages successfully. Now we clear. Now it is time to write our fstab by typing gen fstab -p /mnt 2 arrows /mnt /etc /fstab. Now we can check if it's there by typing cat /mnt /etc /fstab. As you can see, we wrote our fstab and it shows the file systems and the layout. This is to ensure that fstab will read the systems correctly and the correct mount points. So dev /vda1 is mounted to the root system, and dev /vda2 is the swap partition. This is to ensure that the system will boot correctly in the right order. Now we root into the system by typing arch-root /mnt, the mount point for the root file system. Now we are rooted into our system, but we're not done yet. We need to set a host name first and install bootloader. I'm going to use Vim for setting my host name. You could use Nano, for example. But if you want to use Nano, you can install it by pacman-s nano or do it in packstrap. First, we're going to synchronize all repositories by typing pacman-S and 2 times y. As you can see, we have synchronized the repositories. From here on out, I will set a host name. I'm gonna name my tutorial. Press escape. Of course, you press the I to insert. Press escape to exit out of editing mode. Do the double dot WQ explanation mark. Now we also have to install sudo. Type pacman -s sudo. We have successfully got sudo. We can check this by typing sudo. You get a prompt like this one. This means we successfully have installed sudo. From here, we'll add it to sudoers file by typing vi sudo. I'm gonna get all the way down, and we ensure all users are capable of executing sudo. Of course, you can do it in a different way and put on a specific user account that has the allowance to use sudo. Maybe you want the group wheel to have the permissions, but I don't recommend doing that. Now we will save this file. And now we have set a host name and we set up our sudoers file. Now we need to set a password for the root account by typing pass wd as in password. Set up a password that feels safe for you. Make sure it's a long and complicated password. Now we need to add a user account. I'm gonna name mine watermods, which I'm now gonna set a password for. Typing pass wd and then a username. Now we have a user account, but the user account doesn't have a home folder or a folder where it can relate to. That's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna type mk-dir/home and of course the name of the user account, which in this case is watermods. Ensure that's working. Here we go, cd/home. If you do ls-al, you can see the permissions. And as you can see on watermods, the folder, we can see only root has permissions to write to this. We can fix this by typing chown or change ownership. Type the name of the account, do a double dot, do it again. Then type the folder name, get a backslash behind that, enter. Now repeat, doing ls-al, and as you can see, the account watermods owns this folder. We successfully created a home folder for the user. Now we will start and install grub. So we go pacman-s and type grub. Type yes. But it's not properly installed yet. We need to configure it, and we need to get a init France working on the system. We can do that by doing the following: grub-install. Then we want our partitions. We want the whole system. We are not specifying a number. We just want to install grub. In general, grub will automatically install themselves in the boot folder. Now we wait a few seconds and we installed grub successfully without any errors. Then we generate a configuration grub-mk config /boot/grub/grub.cfg. Of course, we need to set a flag -o. What this will do is ensure you have the boot menu. Alright, we have successfully installed RH Linux. From here, you might want to have to install Xorg as a display server, so we can have a display. You want to install all packages from Xorg. Xorg is an older that you root. You mount the system by typing umount -al all. Now we clear it out Then we type reboot -h now. Now we are rebooting the system. As you can see, we have grub installed. Now type enter. We load up the system we just installed. Log in with the password you set up. Type the username, then the password. What you can do from here is install a graphical interface, or might not do. What I recommend is getting GDM for GNOME, for example. From GDM is probably the most stable display manager I've seen so far. You could also get Lite VM. Also ensure whenever you get a display or whenever you get a desktop environment, you have to make absolutely sure that the display manager or the login manager is working properly. So do not enable it yet. However, we are here, but we have no internet. That is because we haven't not yet started the network. We can start it up by typing the following: system ctl start capital N for network, capital N manager, enter. Now you have started up but not enabled. We can enable it by doing this: systemctl enable network manager. We have successfully created the system link. So now every time we restart, we will have working internet. We can test our internet again by typing ping space 1.1.1.1, and as you can see, we get a return. This means we currently have working internet. From here, I will go ahead and install a display or a window manager. It's all up to you what you want to use. For me, I prefer i3 in combination with GDM. For you, it might be STDM with KDE Plasma. We will go ahead and install KDE Plasma. So, first what we need to do is pacman-s dolphin console and Plasma. Then I want my display manager to be GDM. This is what I prefer. You might prefer STDM. For this installation, I would choose STDM. Now press enter. I want everything. Press Y for yes. And now we wait for the desktop environment to install. We have installed the desktop environment. Clear all of this out. Type systemctl start SDDM. Now you wait up. You can see our mouse pointer, and here we are. We have a display manager. Of course, we are using Plasma. This is the only thing that's here. Plasma. KDE Plasma. Type in our password we set it up for the user account. Welcome to your new Arch installation. What I recommend you from here on out is getting yourself a web browser. I will go over this as well. Go to my console, the KDE console, pin this, put it somewhere in the taskbar that seems nice enough for you. If you want, you can choose to clone my repository, which holds some of my .files. For now, I will do some other post-installation stuff, and I recommend you to repeat after me. First, we want to get a web browser. So pacman-s Chromium. Of course, this is what I prefer. You could also get Firefox, for example, of Google, or Google Chrome. Whatever you may prefer, it's all up to you. The whole point of Arch being is that you have complete freedom on how you want to set up your operating system and what do you want to run on it, what you want to run it, and how you want to run it. This is KDE Plasma as it was originally intended, without the bloatware, without the extra stuff. This is just KDE Plasma with the most basic stuff. Now you have a web browser. From there we might want to install fonts, for example. What you also want to get is Arc, so you can unzip your packages from a graphical interface. Also we want to install the tool make. This is so we can compile programs, and we want to get GCC for that. And there we are. You might want to get NeoFetch to show all your friends and buddies that you are indeed an Arch user. I'm sure they will like it. Of course, type NeoFetch. As you can see, it's a lot of information and you might want to make it look better, improve it. Well, I have to think for you. If we just get real quick, get git, exit, type NeoFetch again. This is so we generate the configuration files. Then we're gonna type the following: git clone https // github.com/mononcraft 123.1234 /finisher os cd into it. ls. As you can see, we have a few configuration files you can install if you do so prefer. What we want to install is the NeoFetch configuration file, and we can do that as follows: cp NeoFetch $, home /.config /neofetch /config.conf. Enter. Now, if we type NeoFetch again, we will have this configuration. As you can see, these weird characters. That's because we don't have the font for it installed. Of course, we can do the same for the root NeoFetch. So, log into the root account and do the exact same as I did on the main account. cp NeoFetch $, what the fuck is it? $, capitals, home /dot config /neofetch /config.conf. Enter. And NeoFetch again. Cool. Get the fonts. For this configuration you will need nerd fonts, which you can get at nerdfonts.com. From here I just gonna choose JetBrains because I like this font. This is why we want to have a graphical interface, because the font installation we will do that with a graphical interface. Of course, if you want to do it from the console, be my guest. You can open it with Arc, extract it, and then you want to select everything in there, accept the README, right click or left click, click install. Now wait a little, and then we'll prompt you with this. We want to install it for the entire system. Type in a root password for policy kit, install it, and we're done. You might want to restart your system after this, but you want to restart the system. This is the only instance you want to restart the system. Go to the root account, reboot. Of course, forgot we have to enable the display manager by typing systemctl space enable stdm. As you can see, we created a system link for the display manager servers. So now, every time we reboot, we boot straight into the display servers. And now, if you do neofetch, you will see and notice we have all these icons. You have successfully installed Arch Linux right now. You are an Arch user. Be proud of it. Talk to your friends about it. If you want more information around the subject, you can contact me on Discord, or you could leave a comment down below and ask related questions, and I might be able to help you with these issues. This was a short overview on how to install Arch. This is probably the fastest way to do it. I believe most people just go ahead and take too long for it. Of course, you can set a date in system settings. After all, the official documentation states that you need to install locales before it, but you can also do it after it. Just going simply to settings, go to your date and time. You can even search it up, date and time. Date and time, set your time zone. I live in the Netherlands, so I'm gonna type Amsterdam because that's my time zone. Get your root password. And we have set our time zone successfully. That's it. Maybe you can set a region, a language. You can all do this from the settings. That's why I appreciate KDE Plasma for its usability and user friendliness. If you're new to Linux or Arch in general, KDE is a good way to start. Good luck.